Hello? Hi everyone. Am I coming through okay? Can you see me and hear me all right? And are you ready for a trip to Lisboa? We're going to be rebuilding this after several disasters. I can't remember the order of them now, but there was an earthquake that caused fires and then a flood. I might have the order of that wrong, but those three things all happened in the time period we're playing. 1700s, I think? It actually says in the back of the cards, doesn't it? Why don't you look over there? 1755. And so we are trying to please the various influential people of Lisboa, but all in an effort to rebuild it. This over here at the end of the game will hopefully be full of shops and public buildings for the people of Lisboa to go and visit. The treasury's hopefully going to be in good shape. The cardinal's going to be satisfied, and we are going to get wigs, which are the most valuable thing to any of us. I'm going to be playing the solo game, which is against Lacerda, our virtual opponent, who is going to play by his own rules, really. But you basically like, put his worker out here, and instead of playing cards and stuff the way that we will, he'll just move a space, do the thing here. He'll do one of these actions, he'll do the main action, and then he'll move on every turn. So in that way, like it's not as simple to predict what he's going to do. Well, it is actually like it's not as simple as like the gallerist, where you are playing by yourself and he's just moving a space. Maybe you're giving kicked out bonuses, maybe you're kicking him out, advancing the game a bit. There is more to think about here, but you can predict which of these he's going to do because it matters where this is. If it's in the bottom two, he's going to choose the bottom thing. If it's in the top two, he's going to choose the top thing. And then he's going to do the main thing. And it always follows the same rules. We'll get into that. But yeah, hopefully we will beat him. As with the gallerist, and I really like this, it's not just about beating Lacerda, it is about beating Lacerda, but you also need to fulfill a load of categories. So just to be considered a win, just for court servant, we need to have more wigs than Lacerda. We need to have 4 or more stores. That's these that we're going to be putting out in the middle here. 1 or more majorities of the colour of store. These are points that we can get at the end of the game. We're simulating a 2-player game, so ignore the middle number. Most shops gets most points. 5 or more reis, that's the currency of the game. We start off with 10, so hopefully we can do that. And 6 or more decrees. These are points getting cards that hopefully we'll get more of as we go along, eh? Right. So I think we're almost ready to start. I've said hello to everyone. Hi, everyone that's here. It is going to be a challenging one, and it's one that I keep, like, partially because there's so many games. I looked back at last time I did this, it was about, like, it's getting on for 4 years ago. It's about 3.5 years ago. And I introduced that video by saying, oh, it's been about 3.5 years since I've played this. So it seems to be, like, the revolving thing around Lisboa. But hopefully, like, strategy-wise, I might be awful. But hopefully, rules-wise, I've straightened myself out enough. Yeah, it's pretty chilly here. Not as chilly as it has been, but still pretty cold. But I'm quite pleased with that because this room gets roasting in the hotter portion of the year. So I'm enjoying it while I can. That hey, we can just sit in here. Hey Shelley, hey Michael, James, Thomas, George, Matt. Oh, I said someone twice. I might have missed you out. I'm sorry. Right. So what do we do on our turn? As always, remember Vita Lacerda's explanation of this game, who's the designer, by the way, if you've heard of him from other games. Hey, this is Lisboa. It's one of the best ones. But they're all pretty great in their own special ways. As he describes it, all you need to do in the game is you play a card and do a thing. And that's it. That's as simple as that. If you've played any of his other games, you know it's probably not going to be as simple as that. It is essentially playing cards and doing things, but the things that you can do kind of cycle into each other and affect other actions, and there's many ways of getting what you want done. But it is like graphic design and art by Ian O'Toole, beautiful as always. It is all laid out on your player board and completely laid out in your little player aid menus as well. I think, oh, the player aid's this big, how complicated is all this? Well, there's all of your actions just on one spread of it, and then the rest is, how do I do that thing? What do all of the tiles mean? What do all of the cards mean and symbols mean? So, like, it's a few pages, but it explains the entire game, once you know it. If you're just brushing up on, wait a minute, what's influence for again? There's a bit in the rulebook specifically for that. It's great. So what can we do? We can either play cards to our player boards, or we can play cards out into the Royal Court. If we're playing them to our player boards, you'll see that they've got a bit at the top and a bit at the bottom. We can play these influential people cards to the top of our board. If we do that, we might get a reward, or we might have to pay a penalty if there's a big red X on it there. That card slides in, and at certain times when we gain influence, we will gain a total of all that we've got at the top. So it'll be good to get cards up there to gain a load of influence. We can put treasury cards, the cards that haven't got people on them, underneath the player board. If we do that, we get the current money of the treasury marker. I'm making sure I'm getting it straight as I'm saying it. The treasury marker starts at 3 money we'll get for that, but because we've taken money from the treasury, it will go down. And the next time someone does it, until it goes back up, it will get you less and less money. But this gives you a power for as long as this is under here, because you have got limits. But as long as it's under here, so when I get rid of fire cubes, they only cost me 1. Usually I've got to pay 2. If I've set up my things right, yeah. Usually you've got to pay 2 to get rid of fire cubes. If I put this one down, for example, I've only got to pay 1 for each of those cubes. So various powers you'll get throughout the game. You are limited to cards in your player board and goods of each type to 2. So whether they're at the top or the bottom or a mix, you can have 2 things. As we go through the game and build shops and public buildings, we will get rubble cubes from the old Lisboa, which has been destroyed, which the Marquis wants repurposed and reused in the rebuilding of Lisboa. So if we can get a set of different rubble, we'll get this set cube out. It'll give us a little bonus if we get cards later, but it will increase our limit on number of each good we can have and number of cards we can have in our player board. And it's one of the triggers for the time period changing as well. Make sure you got that straight. It's when 3 decks run out, I know that. But when do we change the time period? I know what happens when we change the time period. Oh, come on, don't have forgotten that bit. I remembered so much about the game. The time period changes, basically, and we change the ships that are available, we change the cards that are available, and there's a little bit of scoring. Well, there's like an interim scoring thing in like the Gallerist as well. That gets triggered as we go through. Marty is here, and there might be another disaster in Lisbon if he decides to jump up. When does the thing change? I'm sure it's end period. Here we go. Second set of rubble. Either 3 of these decks are empty, or someone does their second set of rubble. The time period will change. Stuff will change out on the board. Let's have a go though. So I am the first player. So what do I want to do? Oh, I've just been saying the half of thing that you can do is play a card to your player board. What about this thing, playing it to the Royal Court? The treasury cards have got something on them. This is one of the key actions in the game. It's a way that I can do it. So I can go here, I can do a build action without going to visit and spending influence and all of this stuff. I can do a build action by paying the treasury cost, which at the moment is 3. That would let me do a build action. That's my turn. Don't have to spend anything else to do that. Or I can go and visit one of the nobles. If I do that, I've got to pay some influence. And I can do a main action, but I also get to, if I want to do some trading with them, I can do like a sub action as well. Oh, if you play a card to your playboard, you also get to either sell goods, or you can do one of the actions on the particular person that you played a card of. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to think about. But what I'm thinking about right now is in the solo game setup, we put a public building out. Hey, Marty. Careful of the city, please. He's just been fed, and he wants to cuddle now. But, unfortunately, he doesn't sit on laps. There's no space on the table for you, I'm sorry. You just want to fuss, don't you? I don't know what to do in this situation, Marty. You never used to do this. Why don't you just sit down with me while I play the game? So unfortunately, if you're new to Marty, Marty is not a lap cat and will not sit on your lap. This is my cue to lie back in the chair and he climbs up basically to your face. There's no room, Marty, I'm sorry. If he would just curl up, it would be fine. He could be here. At least he's made a bit of an appearance, and he's not caused any extra damage, has he? He's knocked that piece a little bit. I'm sorry, Marty. Yes. So the public building was put down in solo setup. Public buildings make the shops that we build score. So this means in this row, the blue, the tools and the books buildings will score, depending on the space that they're in. And the way that the random scoring tiles have come out, they're telling me that this column here, things in it are worth 5 wigs if there is a public building that matters to them. So, like, if you build a brown shop in this street, that's great. There is a brown public building, it will score. If I build a pink shop in this space, because you can point it to either street, it won't score any points because there is no public building. Later on, someone could build one here for pink and then it would score. But hopefully, I could get another one for brown built here. I want to build a shop, basically. So I think, shall we go and visit the builder? I would like to do that. Like, if I can get all of my... If I can get all of my stuff straight, yeah, let's go and visit the builder. So I'm going to play a card, not to my player board, but to the royal court. And then I need to put my meeple on top of the card to show that it's me doing it, although we should remember that hopefully in a solo game. Then you need to spend influence. The influence cost is this number here, plus 1 for every other player's court official in that royal section, in that noble section. So there is 1 here in each one permanently as a kind of 2-player tightening thing. So I've got to play 1 plus 0 influence. We start off with 4, so I've spent 1 there. Influence, similar to in the Gallerist as well, it's a much smaller track, but if I need to spend money, I can lose influence instead. And if I need to lose influence and can't, I can lose wigs, but you don't want to do that unless it's something really amazing. So I've spent the influence that I need to do this. So now I may do one of these 2 actions without paying a good. If I had played a card to my player board, and it's like if I'd played this card to my player board, it's a builder card, I could have done one of these, but it would have cost me a tools or a gold to do that. Because I'm visiting him and I've paid the influence, I can do one of them for free. So this is either put 2 court officials out. Court officials are good for making things cost money for other players, and they are good for, you need to spend them when you build public buildings. So it's good to have them out. So that's one of them, or I can gain plans. The other thing you need to build public buildings is plans. Like, here is the thing that each plan will build you right now. So it is brown on the blue one. I do start off with one of the starting plans with this blue one here. So I do have one of those. So I'm thinking I might get some court officials out. If I get a couple of those, like recruit state officials. You have to put them in 2 different nobles' offices. So I know that Lisboa is headed right here, and then after that he's going to go here. So I think I might just beef up the influence cost a little bit of those 2 things. So that's going to be my bonus action that I can do, the state actions. Then you must do the noble action, which for the builder is build a shop. Make sure you've got all of the things on the screen in front of you. Okay, so you need to select a city tile from the display. I want to build a brown one, don't I? Yes. I want to build a brown one, so I take it from there. And these stock up at the end of your turn, so I couldn't do like another brown one in the same turn. I think, if I'm remembering right. And then you need to choose somewhere to put it. For brown, you can put it in any of the spaces either side of the brown street, and the notch will just point to the right bit of the street. So because the public building's here, I want it to be in this row. And because this column scores 5 points per public building pointing to the shop, I want it in this column. So my bonus is going to be 5 coins. These are an extra thing. I can't remember if they're a Kickstarter thing or they're in every copy of the game. They just change the bonuses every game. There are bonuses printed on the board, but you just shuffle these tiles around every game and they make it different. So I'm going to get 5 money for this. I don't want to have money, but I also get a little benefit with money too, which will be nice. So, gain the reward, yeah. Then, we have rubble cubes. Ignore the ones that are in the public building spaces in these little blue boxes. So there are rubble cubes from the destroyed Lisboa to the right and to the below of the shop that we're building. I get to take one of these, partially because I want to build up sets of the different rubble cubes and get my bonuses, get my player board full of stuff, but also to lower the cost of this. I can pick any of these, at the moment, 6 cubes, and then after that, I've got to pay money for the cubes that stay there. It's 3 for every brown, 2 for every red, 1 for every blue. So, money-wise, it feels like I want to take this brown one to start out with, because it's going to make this action 3 cheaper for me, because then you've got to pay for everything left over. So that's what I'm going to do, because I need everything for a set right now. So I pop that over there, and you do get a bonus as well when you've... you get a bonus when you get a bonus relating to cards when you build a set. The other thing I was thinking about when I wanted to do this is one of the decree cards that's come out is, and I hope he doesn't take this because he's going to take a decree in a minute, is have shops in the brown street. So another reason that might be a good thing to do. So we've taken a cube. Then you've got to pay money for all of the stuff that's left in here. So it's 2 for every red. There is 1 red. 3, 4, 5, 6 money. Whenever I am called upon to spend money, I pay 1 less, because that's my starting clergy tile. Everyone gets 1. You get a choice of 2. 1 was for endgame points for having something. I didn't want that one. I wanted the pay less money for stuff. So it should cost me 6. It's going to cost me 5 instead. So basically, that action's paid for itself. I've still got me starting 10. So pay your money. Then... oh, and the money next to the treasure marker as well. It hasn't quite cost me nothing. Nearly forgot that. So... I need to pay that as well. I was tempted to maybe do this first and then lower the treasury marker, but I want to just get in and do it while I'm thinking about it. So I've paid all of that. Then you need to put a house in. The houses, you can put any one you like from the bottom, and then you can work up from that one. And you'll get bonuses as you put these out. So you can start to, when you produce goods, produce 1 extra of a type that you produced, or everything produces 1 extra that you produced. This is ships cost you 1 less good, or ships cost you nothing eventually. But I want to go with this one. So I get nothing for putting this first building out. But the second shop I build, whenever I need to spend influence, I can spend money instead. Which I feel like, because of my discount of money, that would be a good thing to have, right? So hopefully I will have money. So I take a shop. I need to put it on the side with the notch. So this is a brown shop. So move a wooden house. And then we multiply the number of public buildings that are looking at the house. So it's either a public building here, here, or the one for the brown street. So multiply the number of public buildings by the value for the column. So I'm going to get 5 wigs right now, which is a nice start. In the future, if those public buildings get built, I will score the points for them. It's just that, yeah, you kind of want the public building to dictate what you're building there. To get that many wigs, I think that is it. Do that. Now, in turn order, everybody else, if they have got a royal favour token. a player can spend it to follow your visit to the builder. As it is, no one's got a builder one. He has got one for the king. So he would follow as well. Lacerda always follows. So no one's following me. So I go back to court, discard the card. Your action is over. Now, there are cards and stuff for this, and it's not a ton of upkeep and stuff, but whenever somebody has made a lovely little web app to handle... Oh, I'm behind it! Ah! Whenever someone's made a lovely little web app, there I am. I like to use it. So this is on fullstackcardboard.com. And it'll just kind of remind me of the steps as well that Lacerda will take. So on his turn, he will move his meeple to the right and take his actions with this noble. So he is going to visit the Marquis? The Marquis? I can never remember. He's visiting there anyway. So, state action. He takes the state action, as I said, based on where this little helper is. So it's on the builder deck right now. This was randomized at the start of the game. And it's going to move every turn. So when he's down here, he takes this action. And it's in the top half. He'll take this action, depending on the guy that he's visiting. Then he'll do the main thing. So he's going to produce goods. So he produces goods based on like how people normally do it, I think. But he hasn't built anything yet. So that's actually pretty good for me. Because, like... yeah, there's nothing to... yeah, moves the price down according to his normal rules. When you produce things, it's based on the shops and stuff that you have out. So if you haven't done any shops yet, it's not going to produce anything. And then you drop the prices of the stuff that you produce. So that's... I hadn't thought about that at all. But if I had thought about it, that would have been great for him to start with, because it means he does nothing. So that's his state action. Then his noble action is he takes a decree, because that's the guy that he visited. So he needs to pay influence. And one of the things that it's good to try and do in the solo especially, you want to get rid of his influence. If you can build up these court officials, then he'll burn through his influence quite quickly. So he's got to pay based on the number of officials owned by other players. So that is 3 plus 0 right now. I should have lowered it to cost him 1 more, actually. But I wouldn't have put these guys out, maybe. I don't know. So he's got to pay 1, 2, 3 influence. He's only got 1 left. When he needs to pay influence in the future, and he doesn't have any, just like I can, you can pay points instead. But you don't want to pay points. You want to earn influence. So he pays influence as normal. Then he takes the 2 decrees from the left of the display and puts them in his area. So we're okay there. Oh yeah, this refilled at the end of my turn, and this will refill at the end of his turn. Slides all things to the left, fills the display with 2 more. All of his decrees, we ignore completely what they say. He gets 3 points for them at the end of every game. And then just check, because some of the cards are not for 2 players, and you discard them when they come out. So I think that is it for him. That's his noble action. Then he discards from the deck. Oh, I didn't take a card. At the end of your turn, you're missing a big thing. You need to take a card. You can take it from any of the decks that you like. Then you know he's going to discard from the deck where his helper is. So if you want a particular benefit or a particular treasury action, so I could play this in the future in the same way I did that building one, pay the 3 money, and I'd just get 2 tools instead, would be my action for the turn. I quite like... oh, you let me get a ship, and you get me 2 influence. That seems like a nice card. I would like to build again before he does. Have I got the money with 7? So I've got loads of builder cards. I don't really have to worry about getting more of those. That feels like quite a nice bonus to get in my player board. Or I get that one out that puts 2 more officials out and I just keep costing him money. I like that, actually. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. So that'll go there. And then that would reveal, and at the end of his turn, he discards that one. Similarly, he doesn't get cards, so he's just thinning down these decks because one of the timers for the game is the 3 of these decks running out. We'll move on to the second time period of the game. Great if one of us could beam into the game room and give my attention. Yeah, that's all Marty wants. He wants to, for 5 to 10 minutes, he wants to lie on your chest. Incredibly awkwardly. As if he'd never done it before. And then a noise from somewhere will happen. It will spook him. And repeat that process every few hours. I'm not playing with the Queen variant. I've got the Queen variant from wherever it came from. But I never know. Like, at the moment, I'm coming to it after too much of a break. But I never know if it's compatible with the solo mode. I keep forgetting to look that up. You do have to wear all your wigs at once. 10 wigs at the moment. If Lacerda gets a failed action, I don't think you do anything. I think he just doesn't do stuff. Yeah, if it's not possible, he skips the action. Yeah, he doesn't get any bonus for that. Can I build the public brown building? Maybe. So, yeah, the public brown building. I've got a blue plan. What do I need? You get both rubble cubes from a thing of your choice. So I could either put it there or there. Because he's going to build a public building on his next turn. Or, if I do it, he's going to follow me and then do it on his turn as well, which is a bit scary. So what do I need? You get the reward depicted on the site, so I could have a gold, or I could have 5 money over here. Select a plan. It would remove officials if I did it right now. Flip the completed plan tile over. Yeah. And you give people... Yeah, you give people wigs. Let's see, how will he decide his public building? The one that will give him the most points. So he won't build the one that will give me the most points. He will build one that gives me nothing over building one that would get me points, since he hasn't built yet. So he's going to build that green one. So he's going to do 2 public buildings. I can get myself 2 red cubes by doing this as well. And then I don't need any for building in the future. I'd have to remove all of these guys, which is going to make influence a bit easier on him. So maybe I'll wait to do it. He's not going to build that one from underneath me. Going here would get me some more money that's quite nice. But what would you do instead? I've got loads of me... I mean, we could do this first. Just to get more of those guys out and cost him more influence. And so when I remove them, there'll still be people out. And then next turn, I'll go to the king and he'll still follow me. So yeah, I'm going to, on my turn, play this to my playboard. So my immediate reward is put 2 guys out. Let's see, he's about to go there. He's about to go there. And I'll slide it under, and then when it matters, I've got 1 influence in my player board. Then I can either sell goods to a ship. No one's bought a ship yet, so can't. So we will do one of the state actions, the minor actions of the noble that I'm playing the card of, which is the builder. So I need to spend a tools or a gold. I'll spend a tools. Do I want to put 2 more out? Or do I want plans so I could do another building in future? And I can see, oh, you can see as well, I've zoomed out enough, both of the plans involve brown. So I'm thinking maybe another blue one. And I only have to get rid of 2 people to do this one. Or we put 2 more people out and keep costing him stuff. Now I'm going to get the plan. Grab that blue plan. Those tools are spent. And that's my action. Because I played it to my player board, it's not as involved as other things. And he doesn't follow because I didn't go to anybody. Oh, I didn't finish his turn either. He needed to move his helper to the... Whoops. Yeah, he discards from the builder deck. He moves to the Marquis deck, yep. And then I could follow if I had a thing. I didn't. So I have my turn. And then it asks, can Lisboa follow what you did? No, he couldn't. So, following the thing, his worker moves along. It's still in the bottom half, so he is going to take this state action, gain a royal favour. So it's another one of these tokens. He always takes one he doesn't have, starting from the builder, going right. So there we go. He gets the builder's royal favour. He will always use them to follow your visit, but pays influence. And then he takes the noble's action, which is going to be opening a public building. And we've got these little steps to help us work it all out. So he pays influence. There's 3 plus 0 there. So 1, 2, 3. Get him knocked down on that Whigs track. He always opens the public building that gives him the most immediate relative points. So he would... I suppose there's a tie. Actually, he could do the brown one, couldn't he? Just from underneath me. And just put it somewhere irrelevant. Yeah. So nothing can gain him points. If both give him the same number of points, the helper determines which one's placed, and because he's on the bottom side, he will place this one in a place that doesn't benefit me. Okay, then, little take back. I will take the green plan instead of the blue plan, because now I realise he's going to take the one I want. But the top green one isn't going to happen for a while. Oh, well, you're not going to do 2 buildings back to back, are you? Are you? Yeah, take the grey one. Right, so he's going to do this one then, annoyingly. So he is going to do this one. All of the spaces net him 0 points because he hasn't built anything yet. So he puts it starting from the west end of row D going clockwise. So he's going to put it here, just getting rid of all of this stuff. But he gets the cubes in his play area. Doesn't get the benefit. So he places the blue. He doesn't need to hire officials. He doesn't need to use plans. He has just built that thing there, which now makes a bit of a situation for me, because I'm thinking we need a pivot to build in, because he has just made a spot worth another 5 wigs. And if I get this to score in the future, both of these will score me 5 more wigs. So how much will building cost in this space? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if you took this away, which I can afford with a 1 discount. Downside is that's taking a red cube that I do not need. If I took a blue cube, it would cost me 1 extra, and I could spend influence. And then we're going to have to work out how to earn some money in a bit. Someone needs to get a ship and sell some goods, basically. But yeah, I'm thinking it's time for a trip to the builder. Then he's going to go follow me, and he'll get to go on his turn too. I could have followed him to get a decree, actually. I forgot. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to bide my time. So, let's visit the builder. I'm going to play this card. So the influence cost is 1, because that's me. I don't pay for my people. And you can do a minor thing again. You can get the people out. I know we were going to do a public building, but he is about to build, and he'll build there, because that's the most prestigious space on the board. I don't think I need another plan right now. Oh, that should be there. Yeah, I don't think I want another plan right now. I'll put 2 more people out. And let's see. He's about to come here. And then afterwards, he'll go here. So let's rack the prices of them up. So. Oh, you haven't done all of his bits as well about he discards. You didn't get a card again. I like the look of that one. I don't particularly want to do his thing, but I like the look of putting that in my player board. Then he discards that one. And that one comes out and he moves up. Remember, do the end of his turn. So yeah, minor thing, I put those 2 things out. Then build a shop. We've seen all of the steps, but just so I remember them all, I'm putting a brown one out here. I can get any rubble cube with this bonus from this area down here. We put 6 cubes out. So I'm thinking of taking a blue from building, and when I build the public building in whichever space I decide, it's going to be 2 red cubes. When I build another shop, I'm probably going to be removing a brown one to make the cost really low. So maybe I should take a blue from here, because that's the less likely one to remove, because I want the cost to be driven down. So I'm going to take blue from here as that bonus. Nearly made a set. If we do a public building, I'll make a set. So that was my reward. Get a rubble cube there. Then I can take a rubble cube from these, and I am going to go for a blue one. Actually, if you're going to make the whole row score, maybe you should make this cheaper, because you're going to keep going to different rows. So, looking back to my player board, that's 2 blues now. And then the cost as we worked out is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. I get a 1 discount anyway, so 8. And I can spend an influence as 1 as well. Hopefully the influence doesn't stop me too much. And yeah, that's all of my money. But I can afford it. We will put the shop out that lets me... Oh, that's not the button. That lets me spend money as influence. Hopefully we'll earn some money after all this stuff, but we'll earn points as well. Yep, done all of that stuff. And then multiply the points. There is 1 public building. It's worth 5 points. That's another 5 for me. Okay. Then Lacerda has got the royal favour tile. So he is going to get to follow me on this outside of his turn. So he needs to spend the royal favour token and then pays influence as normal. 3 things here. He's got no influence. 1, 2, 3. Can you go into negative points? I remember to drink. Thank you. I'd forgotten. Only 50 minutes of constant talking. Right. Yeah, what happens when he... Can you go into negative points? I hope he can. I'll work that out if it comes to it. So he is going to build a building. So the free space downtown that will give the most immediate wigs. So a brown here would score 3. A blue pointing here would score 4. A blue in here. Oh, that should fill up at the end of my turn. So I think he puts a blue here. So he ignores this. Let's put that away. Pop that there with his house on it. I can't go negative. Oh, that's a shame. But it's going to score points to lose now, though, which is a plus. Yeah. Ignores the bonus, doesn't pay for the space, takes the least expensive cube because obviously he wants to leave it expensive for me. So he's got a set. He's beat me to that. Then, scores the store as usual. There is a public building point in there, which means he gets 4 wigs. He is back on 4. Okay. So, that was him following me. So he doesn't move and discard cards. I need to get a card, though. So I'm thinking... I don't have tools anymore, so making tools worth more points isn't that exciting to me. Getting a clergy tile would be quite nice. 2 points whenever you build a public building. You can move in 2 spaces, and then you can take a thing touching him. Selling tools would be more valuable. I don't make tools. I haven't got a king card. Maybe I'd like the card. Just maybe we'll discard it at some point. Just so I've got a king card. So that's the end of my turn. He followed and all that jazz. Oh, get a decree card from playing that. Would be nice. So that was him following me. He moves 1 along and goes to the builder. He's up here, so he is going to put court officials out. So he moves 2 to the 2 offices with fewest of his officials, starting from the left if he's got none out. What a pain. His officials are never removed. So if I place more in offices, other things kick out. Like, so if I wanted to put one in here now, this neutral one can get kicked out. Lacerda's can't. Which is a pain for me. And by building the public buildings, I'm making space for that to happen. But I think I've cost him a lot as well. He's just going to cost me some. So he recruits state officials, does that. Then he builds a store with the same thing that we just did. So he needs to pay influence. He has got no influence. There are 3 officials here for him to pay for, so he's down to 1 point again. And he's going to build the store that will give him the most immediate wigs, which is going to be a blue here, isn't it? Because that is the only store on the board right now. Oh no, or a blue or a brown here, or a brown here. So there's a tie. If there's a tie, he chooses the leftmost empty space of the topmost row. So he's going to build a brown here, which is a bit of a pain because I'm going to build a brown up there later. Yeah, because blue wouldn't score on this row. So he's going to build here. And he's getting involved in my majority. Pops that there. That'll fill up at the end of his turn. He ignores the bonus in the space, doesn't pay, takes the least expensive. So there's blues in both. He takes it from the bottom of the column. Does Lacerda getting 2 sets trigger the mid-game? I think it does. I think it does. Just says what he scores here. I think it's as soon as someone's got 2 sets, which we're both quite close to. We've both been building, haven't we? He scores the store as usual, so he needs to get 3 wigs from that. But luckily, the next visit for him is going to cost him 4. Okay, so that's his turn. He discards the card from the king deck. Revealing a new one. Move up to the next one. Unless the deck's missing. I could follow with a favour. I don't have one. So it's my turn again. Right. Does he trigger it? I'll have a quick question. No. Only my stuff. Right. So, that's a bit of a pain now, because me getting these 10 points is going to get him 3 and make these spaces really lucrative. When he builds a public building, he's going to build the blue one up there, because he won't build one that benefits me. Now, get a set. What does it cost to do the public building? It's just people, isn't it? I don't have any influence right now, though. I've only got 1 influence, and it would cost me 2 influence to do anything anyway. So it's going to cost me a point, unless I go and get a boat, which I think I might do. Let's get a boat. So playing something to my board, that's why I took this one here. So I'm going to slot him in. His action is, I can go and get a boat. It's not a great boat. So I have to take the one on top. It costs you 1 good. And since I produce 2 brown when I produce, I will spend that brown. So I'm getting this build a ship action from playing him. When you get the ship, this slots in as well. You move the treasury marker up. So it's 1 less influence to do actions up here now, but anything that involves the treasury cost goes 1 up. Hi Monica, how's it going? And then you get influence for all the stuff at the top of your board. So that is... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, at the moment, though, I can only have 2 things on me. A ship's one of them, isn't it? For your cards on your board limit. Yeah. So I would have to discard the 1 influence one, is the downside. But I'd still get 5 influence. Or we do the public building first, which will cost me a point. But that will give me the rubble set to have 3 cards in my player board. So he's not going to build a shop just yet. Have you got Beyond the Rift set up? Oh, beautiful. I hope you enjoy it. I remember that. I really liked it. Maybe we don't do this then. Maybe public building first. I don't want to lose that card just yet. So to do a public building, you're going to have to play this card. It's only going to cost 1 influence, though. So that's all right, isn't it? Yeah, I wasn't going to play that under my board anyway. So that costs me an influence because there is 1 person here. I can either get a clergy tile or a royal favour. So the clergy tile, I can move the cardinal up to 2 spaces and take 1 of the tiles next to him. This is get a point every time you build a shop. This is get 2 points every time you do a public building. It kind of feels like I should do that. Right? Or this one gets you extra points when you sell, extra money when you sell tools. I don't make tools yet. Maybe I will. So I'm going to take the 2 wigs when you build a public building. The main action, we're going to do a public building. So actually, it doesn't cost me points. So I need... Where do I want to put it? I'm going to put it so it just benefits me, I think. and gets me a bit of money. So I'm going to pop it here. So I get the 2 red cubes. Take my brown good back. Oh, thank you. Yes, because I spent that for the ship, didn't I? Which I will do. So the 2 red cubes go in my kind of twisted round player board. And hey, I've made a set. So now we get a set cube out. We can have 3 of a type of good, 3 cards around the player board. And when I get decrees, these set cubes, you can spend the set cube to get an extra decree, which maybe I'll do next time. I'm not really going to have influence, though, is the downside. Get 5 money is always nice. So, that's the first step. Take the rubble cubes, put them on your player board, gain the reward, select an incomplete plan. I am going for blue, because that's what scores me points. I have to remove 3 people. So I'm thinking, keep this expensive for him. 1, 2, 3, and maybe we'll build them up later. So they get put back on my player board. And then this goes into the, hey, you've done that pile for the end of the game. Yep. And then for an east or west building, oh, put it out for a start. So, hey, that scores brown and pink in this row. So, hey, I get 5 wigs for that. Boom. Great. I think that's all of the bits. He does have a thing to follow me, though. So, oh, you've closed the window and the start menu doesn't appear all the time. Lacerda follow. He's going to follow, sadly. So he needs to pay... Oh, he's about to pay influence for that. Oh, well, he'll pay influence in a minute. He can't go in negative points, so it doesn't matter, does it? Maybe I should spread him out a little bit. So he spends 2 influence. It's going to keep putting him to nothing anyway. So he pays influence with wigs, because he doesn't have any influence still. He opens the public building in the construction space that gives him the most points. It's like, when do these restock, actually? Don't they restock at the end of the turn? I'm just thinking. Has he got a choice? He would do the blue one anyway, I think. I think in this case, he would do the blue one anyway. Because this gets him no points, even if this has come out. But I don't know if they restock until the end of my turn. Oh, I need a card, don't I? I haven't got one of your cards, so I'm going to take one. So he's following me. He is going to build this one. And the only way it can score him points is if he builds it up here. So he gets those rubble cubes. That bonus goes away. And so he scores himself 4 points. Doesn't use plans, doesn't use officials, and I think that's that. So on his actual turn, he visits the Marquis, and he is up top. So he is going to take a ship. Oh, actually, I'm gonna get a bit less influence anyway, because he's taking this ship. But this ship will cost me more, but I can send more things on it. So he takes the top ship and places it in its area, or I can just send using this ship, and I don't need to get one myself. It does get him points, though, if I use his ship. So he takes the ship, and he moves the treasury up 1 space, which I actually already did. When, oh, I should have paid 1 less influence, because this is on -1, and so should he. He moves it up, taking the ship. No, I shouldn't have paid -1. He's just moved it up by taking the ship. And then earns influence equal to the influence on the ship, plus the total influence in my portfolio. That's 1 at the moment, so he gets 4 influence for his future turns. Then he takes a decree, needing to pay influence, but he's got influence now, annoyingly. So he needs to pay 3 minus 1 to influence. Then he takes the 2 leftmost decrees that are going to be worth 3 points each. Annoyingly, I want to follow him. But I haven't got any influence. So to follow him, it costs me 1 influence right now. That's 1 money. And I get a 1 discount on when I spend money. Because I can spend money instead of influence. And I get a discount when I need to spend money. So that's free, right? Is that how that works? So that's him taking a decree anyway. He discards the card from this deck. And he wraps back around to the bottom. Because I started with this. Everybody starts with 1 random 1. So I think I'm going to follow. So it should cost me 1 influence. I'm going to pay with money instead, and I get a discount when I need to pay money. So I'll pay nothing to follow him. And when you follow, do you just get to... Yeah, it's exactly the same. I can do one of these 2 things, and then... So I could just get the ship now, but I can get it by playing a card on my next turn. But we can sell goods by doing that. Right. Let's produce goods now. So producing goods. For each store you own, make 1 of that good. So I've got 2 brown stores. I make 2 brown goods. I've got space for that because we've made 1 set of things. So I've got 3 brown there. Okay. Then the main thing of getting decree cards. So build things on the brown street. I've already done that twice. So that seems quite good. What else have we got here? We've got public buildings on the east side. There's 1 so far. Things on the blue street that I've built. Oh, that anyone built. Oh, so he's built on the brown street. So this is worth 3. So I should definitely take that. Tools you have at the end. Just ships, is this? Just remind me. For each ship, 2 wigs. This is have the most completed blue plans, which I think I will just have because he can't do that. So that's just 5 points. Number of public buildings in the north. Number of buildings in the A row. So I think we definitely want this because that's 3 points already. But as an extra thing, when you take a decree, if you have any rubble set markers on the Blue Noble, you can discard it to take a second card. So what would be good to take? I'm going to get a ship, but I don't know if I'm going to get a second one. Maybe I will. Most blue plans, I've done 1. So I will get the 5 points from that, I think. Which is a pretty good amount of points from something. So I think I'll take that. And then slide them all down and restock them. Although building in the blue street probably wouldn't have been a bad shout because that's currently quite lucrative because he's put that public building out. So he's probably going to be putting shops out there. Okay. So I followed him to take stuff. And then on my turn, we're doing what I was going to do the turn before and play this card in there. So the bonus is build a ship. We're going to pay a good to do it. Oh, it's going to cost 2 goods to do it now. So let's do brown and a pink. Going to limit me a bit not having these right goods. But I get to build this ship. So the marker goes up again and I get influence. And this can have 2 goods on it. So, and you get extra money for selling goods on this. So that I get 3, 4, 5 influence. which would be good. I'll need that. And I am not gonna. So remember, I get the bonus for tucking something in. I could spend a good to do one of these two things, but I am going to sell goods, which we could do instead. So you must sell at least one good. Choose a ship card in any player's portfolio with space for goods. So I could sell to him as well. He'd get a point, but I'd get some more money. Oh, when I produced books, the book token should have gone down. So I think we're going to have to build shops to be able to do stuff. But I might sell me starting gold as well to him. He'll get a wig, but I think I'm going to do it. So it's +1 gold on my ship, and books are worth 4 currently. So that's 10. Gold is worth 6. 16 Reyes, please. Oh, I built a public building, didn't I? So I should get 2 wigs as well for me decree tile there. Okay. And then at the start of your turn, if it's full, you unload it and get points for it. So that I played a card to my player board for my turn. And then, as a bonus, I sold goods. Lacerda can't follow that. So for his turn, he goes to the king. He is at the bottom, so he is going to gain a royal favour. He hasn't got the builder, so he goes left to right. He hasn't got any at the moment. So he goes to the builder, which I'd probably like to do. Hey Josh, how's it going? Play this a lot, but never solo. It's really good solo, I think. I really like, as good as like Kanban and the later ones have been with the David Tortsimos, and they're more like playing the actual game. I really like the Lacerda ones. Like the Gallerist is my favourite one solo. Just because like my whole focus is just on what I'm doing, and there's still like so much to think about there. And the Lacerda still does get in the way and give you kicked out actions and stuff in there. There's more to think about here, but it's still largely you doing your stuff. Which was what? What were you doing? Oh, he's building a public building, isn't he? So he's just had his royal favour. Then he is going to open a public building, spending 1 influence. That should be right at the top. Spending 1 influence, because it's 2 minus the 1. Then, which public building is he going to do? So if he builds a brown here, that is going to reward him with 3, but me with 5. So he doesn't want that. Because that would be kind of -2 net. Whereas this one here scores nobody anything. So he'll choose this one. Rather than help me. So he just builds it clockwise. If it's going to score nobody any points, he'll just pop it there. Getting a couple of rubble cubes for his trouble and discarding the bonus. Doesn't move any officials or use any plans. There we go. Discards this card. And if with all of these riches I know he can follow me by building a shop, but moves the helper up. I can't follow because I don't have any royal decrees. My turn. I know he can follow me, but if I can build a shop and remove a brown cube, I'll also trigger the end of the first period. It would be nice to maybe do it with 3 sets by doing a load of stuff, but I don't know if I can really do that. I can do the green public building. But putting it up here will get me 2 reds, which doesn't help me out with doing sets, does it? So I mean, a shop right there is worth 6 points right now. It's where he's going to want to put stuff. A brown shop. A blue is worth 8. Because it scores here and here. Ooh! Build a blue shop there. How much would it cost? 5. Remove that. 8. 10. -1 for my discount. It cost me 9. I can afford that. I would get the cube I need. Let's get to it. So, I only have 4 cards, which is a problem. I keep forgetting to top them up. Who do I need? I would have had the card that he discarded, actually. And then he would have discarded this one. To keep a builder one in. If we're going to be building. And yeah, let's... I do still have my thing where I could pay 5 -1 to build. But let's pay with influence since we now have influence. So it's going to cost me 1, 2, -1 influence to come here. I want to... Do you want to get a plan? I kind of do. But I kind of want to get 2 people out again and start costing him stuff. And if we're going to do a public building, it's going to cost me these officials. So yeah, I'm going to choose the bonus of putting 2 more people out. 1 there, 1 there, please. Then, because he's going to follow me as well. He's going to do this twice, so I want it to cost as much as possible. Then build the shop. Make sure you've got all of these steps down. Oh, start of your turn, before you do any of this stuff, if your ship's at sea with full cargo holds, just like he should have done on his turn, you discard all of the stuff below them and you get a wig for each one. So he got a wig and I get 2 wigs at the start of my turn. I filled his ship up, so I got a load of money, but he did get a point for that. Was it worth it? Hope so. So, building the shop. I want to build a blue, because I would also like to try and get some kind of majorities. We'll build it on this blue street here. So my bonus is get a tools, which is alright, I haven't got one. I'm going to take from the column when you produce an extra good of one of the types you're producing. So I can now produce blues. Yeah. So I want it to all be on one colour. So, getting the reward depicted. Take a rubble cube. I want to take brown to do my sets. So, going back to the player board. You go in there. That's my second set. That's going to trigger the first period of the game to be over. Of 2 periods. Then, pay your money. So it's 3, 5, 10, 9. With my discount. There we go. I've still got 12 money. And then that's going to score me once, twice, 6 wigs. Then that would top up. Can he follow me? Yes. So Lisboa follow with his store. It's going to cost him 3, 2 influence. So 1, 2 influence to do it. And then the free space that gives him the most wigs. So let's see. You would be worth 4. Oh, a pink here is worth 5. So he'd do that. So he is going to build this pink here. Because this thing's out. So, this doesn't have to pay for the space. Takes a cube. The least expensive. If tied, he takes one from a column. So that's there. Doesn't need to pay for anything. Scores the store, which is going to be 5 wigs for him. Uh-oh. Can't keep him at 0 forever. And his next turn, he's going to the builder. So he needs to acquire a plan. He takes the plan with the most officials depicted. In case of a tie, he takes the blue one. So he's taken that. Then he builds the store. He needs to pay 3 influence, -1, 2 influence. And then the store that is worth the most points. What's that going to be? So again, or pink here, that's worth 3. Brown's full. Gold is worth 4. or blues are worth 4. If there's a tie, he goes for the leftmost. Where is it? The leftmost empty space of the topmost row. So that would be this one. I mean, for things that are worth 4 points. He would go up here. Build another little one. It's keeping majority in blue, isn't he? So he takes one of the reds. It would be from the column. In this case. It's going to score him 4 points. And I think that's all the information we need. I can't follow him. Oh, discard. Do you need to draw a card? Yes, I do. I don't massively want any of these. I want the treasury card that would reward me for selling brown, really. But unfortunately, it's underneath this one, I think. So he discards this card. I know why we even... Oh, he's following. We're doing his turn when I shouldn't. Because we need to have a scoring after my turn. So at the end of the first period, each player, which I think he still scores, he didn't have a red. He's just gained a red. He scores as normal, doesn't he? 1 wig for each cube he has. He doesn't need to score sets. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Uh-oh. He's coming for me. I score 3 wigs for each set of cubes. So that's going to be 6 in total. Starting with the player who triggered... Oh, yeah, he's not going to discard this card. He's going to discard a new card. Starting with the player who triggered the end of the period, each player can discard any number of cards from their hand, and you get the reward at the bottom of one of each type of noble discarded this way. So I think... What did I just take? I just took this one, didn't I? Hoping to reveal something. I have seen the card underneath, but take backsies. I don't get many rewards with the cards that I've got here. I've got penalties. So I think I would take this card at the end of my turn instead. And then I'll choose to discard definitely these 2. I'll discard this one as well, I think. Yeah. Discard these. This one doesn't get me anything, but the noble ones you discard. So I can take a plan and I can take a royal decree. So the plan, I'll take blue. And the royal decree, I will take for... What's he doing? Building a shop? Oh, he spent that, didn't he? Maybe I want to just build a shop. I do want to get a load of decrees, though. Yeah. I'll follow him on that, even though it's so expensive. Yeah. No, not for me. Yeah. So, I get the reward at the bottom of one of each of these. Discard any ship cards remaining. And then... I forgot to change the period. New ships come out. With even more room for stuff and even better rewards. We shuffle this deck, which is like the blue cards that we started with. But it's purple. So everyone that discarded cards at this point draws cards up to their hand limit. I think I will stick with the cards that are in my hand right now. I kind of regret getting rid of a builder card. Because I might not have one now. Oh, there we go. There's a builder card. So there's 3 new ones. Oh, a public building treasury card. Which just gets me a discount of 2 on public buildings, is that? Let me check that out. Is that card 40? Oh, no. Whenever you need to spend money, you get 2 discount. That would be quite nice to have out on top of my 1 discount for everything. And I would get 5 money right now and start bringing this down a bit to make building a bit cheaper. So that's my 3 cards from this. We don't need these purple cards now. Then, the red cards all clear off. Enjoy your food, James. What are you having? I don't know what I'm having tonight. Rich is out. Oh, by the way, everyone, in case you haven't seen, I haven't made the stream yet, actually, but we're live on Friday with a Q&A at 5 p.m. GMT. We haven't done a Q&A for ages, so be there if you can, because I don't know if there's going to be any questions. It'd be scary, wouldn't it? And we've got teaser. You only... So I don't want to make like a massive deal out of it, but teaser, if you're watching this stream at this point, there's a bit of a personal announcement as well. Right. They'll get replaced with that. So at the end of his turn, he actually discarded a card from there. And moved up. Yes. Now we're all back. I can follow. No, it's my turn. So, I've got money. Why did you want to build so much? What I kind of want to do is get this tucked in. I would still be allowed... See, spending a blue, I could put 2 people out or get a plan. Selling goods wouldn't really work out. Yeah, just put 2 people out. Cost him some money. Well, this one here is a 3 discount on stuff. Whenever I need to spend money, get a discount. And I want to keep building shops. I'm going to pop this out here. So I get 5 money. And the treasury marker comes down. And then these are way more influence. So much more influence. I'm going to get this one, actually. That get me a decree if I chose to play it underneath. Discard and take a card. So that's my turn. And now I've got this discount on my player board. Whenever I need to spend money, I can spend 2 less. So, his turn. Can't follow me. He is going to go here, and I'm going to follow him. He builds a ship, because he's up here. So, he builds this and places it in his area. I can use it. Oh, this goes up again. And then it's 1 influence on the ship plus my total influence in my portfolio. So he's going to get 6. That's annoying. Oh, I didn't spend my thing and put 2 people out. Which I wanted to do. So that's that. I don't know if it was even worth doing what I did. Then pay his influence. He needs to pay 4 3 influence, which he can do. He takes these 2 decrees, slides them along, fills them up. I don't think 69's come out. And then, do I want to follow? Yes, I've got my royal decree. So I'll spend that, and it's going to cost me 2 1 influence to follow. I could build a ship, but I think I want to produce goods. So I can produce 2 brown. Because I get 1 bonus, I'm going to produce 2 blue as well. So they both slide down in cost, which is unfortunate. I might as well do it before he does. And then get a decree. So I've got my cube so I can take 2. What shall I take? So we've got number of ships, tools, maybe I'll get loads, number of public buildings at the top, buildings in A, buildings in D, we've got 3 right now. Have the most rubble cubes, I've got 6 and he's going to get tons, there's no chance. Have the most people on plans, have the most houses in row C. I think anyone's houses in row D, we've already got 3 there. What about number of houses in A? There's one already. There can only ever be 4. Because have the most in C. I don't know how bothered I am about that. I think public buildings will get put out. I want to put a brown one at least in that street. So I'm going to go for that. So how many decrees do I need? We need to discard that cube. To be a court servant, you need 6 or more decrees, and that's 4. 7 to be king's favourite. You need as many stores as Lacerda. And behind, 10 or more money, 7 or more decrees, 1 or more ships. I do have a ship. It would be nice to get a higher ranking, wouldn't it? Oh, you didn't discard the card, move him up. Then I followed, I did. And then it's my turn. So. I've got money, I can build. I'd like a brown there. Because that's going to be 5 later, and maybe even more with public buildings. You get me a gold, but that's not a huge deal. A public building here gets me a decree, and I need a load of them. But getting more sets will get me the cubes, and then you can get 2 in one go, and hopefully that'll be all nice. We should do a public building, and then build before him. The brown here that'll be worth the most. And maybe we can make it worth more later. Yeah. So build a public building. It could be either, but we want to do blues, don't we? So I'll do this one. So remove 2 people. Not out the one he's going to go to next. Thank you very much. So make sure you've got all of the bits. How are you doing this? You haven't played a card or anything yet. Well, it's going to have to be playing you then. Influence. 1 minus 1. None. Right. Take the rubble cubes. I want... Do I go for the whole street? Or do I go for one of the side ones? I can get a royal decree here. And then we could do brown later. No, do it up here. But then if I get a decree, I can do the other plan later. Yeah, do this. But then you're getting 2 more reds, and that's too many reds. You'd kind of want this one. Or what thing are you doing? You could get a royal decree just from this. Or you can get a clergy tile. Do I need a certain number of them? No, but for points you might want one. When you produce, get 1 more of 1 good. Oh, this should have been refilled. This thing ages. It's not really lost, Lynette. I'll explain anything that you want me to. That's a one-off, get 7 influence for that. And the clergy tiles have just fallen off. Yeah, get a royal decree, and we'll go for another public building. And I'm going to put... Yeah, I've spent me 2 people. So you go out there. And I'm going to put it here. Oh no, the blue one I want. Whoa. Oh, yeah. On the blue side. Wondered what had happened to that then. So I get to put 2 people back out. I'm going to put one there, just for cost purposes. I get these 2 brown cubes. Because from the next public building, I'm going to get 2 red cubes. And hopefully we can get 2 blue along the way at some point. And points. I get 10 wigs. He gets 3. I think that's it. He can't follow, but he's going to do the same thing on his turn. So he goes to the king. Oh, I need a card. Maybe I should get a king card because I don't have one. Yeah, go on then. So he's visiting the king. He's up top, so he's going to be meeting the cardinal. So he moves him 2 spaces, and he takes the one in front of the cardinal, gaining the wigs on the back, which is going to be 2. And then he doesn't actually care about the tile. Oh, he passed the influence tile, so church scoring is triggered. So get to your church scoring bit. Where did I put that? Oh, church scoring. So once the action is over, in turn order, starting with the player removed the cardinal, you must discard 1 or more of your clergy tiles. That's why you want more of them, isn't it? Oh, I should get 2 more wigs for doing a public building. So I did. Earn the wigs on the back of each tile you discard, and the total influence on all of your cards at the top of your player board. So he doesn't have to discard anything, but he gets influence plus his ships. So his ships are 4, 6, 8, 9, because he gets all of mine as well. So he goes all the way to the top and gets a wig for getting to the top of his influence. Then I must discard a clergy tile. What about the 1 discount for everything? Because now I've got a 2 discount on everything. It is cumulative, but 2 wigs for public buildings. I'm going to do another one in a min. I'm going to lose the public building one. I get 3 wigs now. And then I score all my influence, which we've seen is 5. Okay, that's the church scoring. That was him doing the noble action. Then the public stuff. Influence he needs to pay. 4, 3. Well, unfortunately, he's just got loads of influence. And then he wants the public building that will score him the most relative points. Oof. Okay. So he doesn't want to put a brown here. He can't help this building here. Let's see, a pink here would get him 5 points, so he probably wants to do that. Or a pink here. If there's a tie, he puts it closest to here going clockwise. So he wants to put the pink one up here. So he gets these 2 cubes, gets himself 5 points, and suddenly... Well, either way, that's worth a load of points. I kind of want to be involved in majorities, don't I? I'm already winning the brown majority. I don't know if he'll do more. So he puts that out. He doesn't need to use any plans or anything like that. Then he discards this card and moves along. Yep. And I am going to follow with a favour from the king. So that's going to cost me 1, 0 influence. And recover the bag of clergy tiles that I dropped. It is a lot to take in. And the action's all kind of linking on each other. So collision tile 11 is whenever you play a Marquis card, get 2 money. Get 3 money. So if I moved him 2, we would just get influence. And I could take this one whenever you get a house. What's 18? For each of your ships is worth +2 wigs when it sets sail and in endgame scoring. I like that. I'm just going to move there. Not score the influence yet. So I'll take that. And then a new one comes out. Or I could take the Royal Decree. Might take the Royal Decree. Because next he's going to build, and I can kind of keep up with his building. Or you need to get decrees. Oh, which should all be sliding around. You need to keep up on your decrees when he goes over there. And it lets you produce goods. It's so tough. Decrees. Okay, I'm following his thing. I'm doing a public building. So I've only got a green thing, and I need to remove 2 guys. It is brown, and I'm putting it up top here. So I'm going to get myself a gold good. Completed that plan. I don't have any plans left now. And he gets 3 points. I get 10 again. Okay. Does that all sound good? My turn. I want to build, but I also want to slot this into my player board and get a decree. I think we need to keep building. Just playing cards is the only way I get to sell goods. But I've got money right now. So let's build. Play you. Building costs me 1 influence. The most valuable thing is a brown or a pink here. A brown is the most because it would score twice right now. Brown here. So, get me another gold good. Definitely need to be selling goods. I've just broken Lisboa. Hey, birds on board, how's it going? I have done a couple of things on... Have I done anything? I don't think I've done anything on Board Game Arena, actually. I've done a couple of tabletop simulator things at times. Usually when, like, prototypes haven't been available. I do play. Well, I had a massive run last year playing loads on Board Game Arena. I still am playing on it, but not as much. But, like, I suppose I haven't got a massive sample size, but people haven't watched as much the tabletop simulator ones. Or the digital... You know, like when they do an actual app, like the one I did for the Castle Burgundy app and the Wingspan app. Because it's a lot easier to do. You don't have to set all of the stuff up. So I've built that there. I've had my bonus of a gold resource. So that's what was on the space. We've got to pay. And I don't want a brown cube. I want a blue cube, which is not going to be good cost-wise. So this is going to cost me 5, 8, 11, 13. Minus 3. So 10. Could be worse. I'll pay you 10. And that is going to get me 5, 10 points. Downside is it's reinforcing a majority I already had very easily. So was it worth doing that? I think so. I'd like to Do I need 2 or more majorities to be king's favourite? I suppose nobody's built a gold building yet. You could get the majority in there. I don't know why I've put that there. There's no building space there. So that was me. That was my action, wasn't it? He can't follow me. I need to get a card. 2 decrees. Maybe I should do that. A 2 public official discounts. Oh, I've just done a set. Great for getting more decrees as well. So I'll be able to follow his action. And I could slot this card in. No, I'd have to play it as a treasury card to get 2 decrees. But it wouldn't cost me very much. Go for it. I'll take that. I've still got to build a card. It's okay. So, it's Queen. Still from the Bohemian Rhapsody video. Lacerda. Oh, that's my turn. Lacerda can't follow me. So on Lacerda's turn, he's going to the builder. He's at the bottom, so he's going to get a plan. He takes the plan with the most officials depicted and puts it in his play area. And then he builds a store, paying for 3 influence. So the space that gives him the most points right now, this is 6, because it scores twice. These are all 3. Oh, this is 6 as well, because it scores twice. Pink, pink. I think that's the situation we have. So it's, what was it? This is 6. And this is 6. He goes for the topmost, doesn't he? So he would build here in the brown. Which is okay, actually, because it makes it easier to try and get the majority. He takes the lowest cost thing out. And that's it for his turn, I think. Oh, and he needs to score it. He gets 6 points. Then he discards this card. And what's the trigger for the end? Is it 4 sets? Yeah. I am a blue cube away from ending the game. Which I need to watch out with, because I want him to have a turn. Do we play? We finish the round so everyone has an equal number of turns, and then everyone takes 1 more turn. So I can't follow him. So I will get to follow him. If I end the game by building something, do you get a majority if you're tied? I would imagine that counts as a majority, you know, for like the criteria of scoring at the end. I'm just thinking, do I build a pink to get the 6 points? And then I'm tying on majority. I'm not going to get the top thing. So I only need 7 decrees. 1 ship, 10 money. At least as many stores as him. So I need to build a store. Have 10 money is going to be tough. Oh, it's how I can get the 7th decree, actually. So if I tuck this in to get a decree, do I care about the decrees that are out, or do I want to wait for that? Can I afford to build a shop with 7 money and get a blue cube? They're quite expensive. I don't think you can afford it. I think we're going to have to tuck this in. So I'll replace the 1 influence with a 3 influence. So even though I can tuck more cards in with this, they still only got 3 spaces up top, which lets me take a decree. And then we can sell goods. I'll get a load of money from that. So I've only got 1 ship. By producing in a minute, if I don't sell tools now, I could end up with 4 tools. So that could be worth 4. There are 3 buildings in A already. Most buildings in A. Number of buildings in B. Most people on plans. He's only done 2 plans. And I don't think he's going to have a chance to do any more. Oh, for every person. That's 7 on completed plans. Every 2 people. So that's only going to be 3. Most rubble cubes isn't going to happen, I don't think. He's only 1 ahead of me, but I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to go for this one. So, that was my bonus for doing that. And then I am going to, for my action for tucking a card, sell goods. So 2, I've got 6. Oh, I'm going to sell everything. Because I'm probably going to produce in a minute as well. So let's sell the gold on mine. It doesn't really matter. So they will be 7 each. So that's 14 money. I can put 3 here. So this is giving him 4 points. But I don't know if I want to do that, actually. Maybe I don't want to do that. I'm scaring myself off it. Because this is going to get you 14 money. That should be enough to build something with, shouldn't it? If you sell him on his purple ship, you get 2 extra money for each. But then he gets points. Oh, wait a minute. No, he doesn't. I'm going to sell 2 brown on his because it only ships off if it's full. So the brown are worth 3 plus 2 each. So 10, 24 money altogether. So that should let me get anything I want done on my last turn. So that was my turn, tucking that card and getting a decree. He is going to come over. Wait a minute. So you're making it take an extra turn. Yeah, but I couldn't afford to... I couldn't afford to do a build with 7 money. Yeah, don't take all of that back. I might have messed up giving him an extra turn. That might have been a bad idea, but I'm not going to take all of that back now. So he can't follow me. He's going here. But he'll get to build again. Sorry, guys, we might have to take all of that back. But then you'd be playing your card that gets you the decree. Yeah, but we could tuck a different one instead. I might leave everything as it is, just because I'm going to do that the turn after. It's just because this costs 5. I don't think you can afford to build anywhere for... At least not anywhere good. You could build another brown there, but so what? So it could be 10 in total, so I can only be 5 from cubes. This column's full. No, you have to do it this way around. So he is going to get to build again. Ooh. But you'll get 2 more turns as well. Keep it as it is. Don't take it back. Keep it as it is. It's all right. Right. I just might have to build another time. So he's going here. He's at the bottom. So he's going to produce goods. He produces... Was it 2 brown, a pink, 2 blue? They go in his play area, and he moves the prices down. So yeah, good to sell the goods before he does that as well, actually. Then, pays influence to take decrees. It's going to cost him 1 influence. Takes these. Slides them down. I'm going to follow with my thing, paying 1 influence also. And I can discard my cube to take 2 decrees, which will give me the 7 I need to hopefully qualify for this middle one. I need to have more points than him, at least as many shops, 2 or more majorities, 10 or more money, 7 or more decrees, and 1 or more ships. We might do this. So gold, I can't produce that. Does that have the most officials on completed plans? I think it is. Or are tied for most, because he's going to do 1. But he's not going to get a plan. So that's going to be worth 5 points. So take that. Every completed plan is worth a point. I've done 3, probably won't do any more. There's not much on B. Have the most built on A or tie. Every 2 of them is 3 points. I've got the majority on C right now. Just if you work that out wrong, you get nothing. I'm going to build on B. This is worth 3 right now. Just stick to it, because if you've worked it out wrong, you're not going to get any points for that, for one of these majority ones. Okay. Blue public buildings in the north. It's only 1, but it's 2 points each. Green public buildings anywhere. It's only 2 of them. Right. I'm probably not going to get any more decrees. Oh, and you need to do his stuff. Oh, he should actually have been there, apparently. And then he moves up. I'm glad the thing's keeping track for me. So my turn. I just need to build. And then whatever public building he does, build again before him to take advantage of the best one. So build. It's going to cost 1 influence. And make sure you keep 10 money for qualifying for the scoring. So the best scoring spot right now is this, isn't it? Which is 6 points. The 5 columns full. Gold will score. Like, to get a majority, I could just build in gold. It's not as many points for that majority. But with pink, I can knock his majority down a bit. So I'm going to do that. I'll get myself a tools, which I'm not so bothered about. Oh, and my little thing, I forgot to do this when I followed. I was going to produce. So that would be 3 brown and 2 blue with my extra. 3 brown. 2 blue. Yeah, I'm good with practically any takebacks anytime. But I took back my take back. That's a rarity. So put that there. Now, if I produce everything I produce produces an extra 1, but I'm probably not going to produce again. That goes there. Scores twice, which is going to be 6 points. So we're going to have to remember that I should have 6 more points because I've covered it up with my player board. Yeah, put me on 6 right there. I'll forget what that means. So I built a building and... Or do I want to put 2 more people out? Get a plan. Maybe you'll do a public building. But you need to pay for it. So I want a blue to do the sets. So that's another set. But this is going to cost me 5, 8, 11, 13, 15, 18, minus 3. It's going to cost me 15. I've still got 16 money after that. It's an expensive build. And we'll see what he does. So, he's got no favours to follow me. He's going to the king. And he's going to get a clergy tile. So, he moves 2 spaces. Takes the... Oh, no, that shouldn't have been a church scoring. I did that at the wrong time. That's the church scoring. That just moves the treasury marker up and it was already at the top. Takes this. And he just gets the 2 wigs on it. Then, doing the public building, he needs to pay 2 influence. And then, oh dear, what's going to be the best thing? So, a gold building here gets nobody any points. A blue building here gets him 4 points and me nothing. A brown would get me more than him, so he's not going to do that. A pink here would get him more than me, but this is 4-0, whereas this is only 2-0. Brown there gets me more, so he's not going to do that. So he is going to do a blue scoring building here, I believe. Whoop. Which means this building is worth an extra 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's just that. He gets the rubble cubes. So that's the end of the round. We've got 1 more turn each. You didn't take a card. Would have taken a building card just to have the option. He discards this one and moves up. Last turn. So he is going to build. So that means I need to build, doesn't it? So I might not have 10 money. I need to have as many buildings as him. And where's he going to build? All these are just 4 each. 3. 3. 4. He'd build there. So if I can put him off from gold, I'll get the majority for it. Hi, Rach.
Hello.
How's it going? Rach is here.
Yes, I am. I'm going out.
Okay. See you later.
Bye. Bye. Everyone.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you. So yeah, if I go on gold, he won't go on it. What will he go on? He'll go on one of the blues, won't he? Which he's already got majority for. So good luck to him. I build there. Can you afford that? Can't afford that and have 10 money left. Maybe you should have sold an extra thing to him. So I've got 6 money. So I could build a blue, but he'll build the gold. But I can take his blue majority from him. Because it would cost 5, 10. Spend the influence for 7. I could do it. Oh yeah, there's influence as well. I could lose influence for money. To just get like the gold majority here. What would it cost? 3, 4, 6, 9, 14. I've got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I can't do that. But I want people to build in A and D. I'm not going to get any more sets, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, build. You've got to pay 1 influence just to do it anyway. This is the last turn of the game for me. There. Which one I don't care. It's that. I get 3 influence. I'm going to remove a rubble. And it costs me 5, 8, 10. Minus 3 is 7. I've got 6, but I can go down 1 to the next coin to get a discount. And then I've still got me 10 money. I think. Then on his turn, he comes here. He will put 2 officials out. He hasn't done that a lot, has he? Just because of the way he started, kind of. So he would start there. And then he would come here. And I guess with a choice, he would kick one of mine out. It's still, you can still use it for plans, but it doesn't count for money. Like the influence he needs to spend. Then he needs to pay 3, 2 influence. 1, 2 influence. Did I get the points from that? I don't think I did. 4. So I should be on 81, which we still can't see under my player board. And I think we worked out that he would build here for 4. So this is worth 4 points as well, but he does the highest, leftmost in the highest row. So he would build here, which would score him 4. And he would take away the cheapest thing. And I believe that's it. Oh, oh, he did his thing. Did I? I think I did. So I think that's the game. So I can't, with how small I've made the screen, I can't see the scoring button. There we go. And I'll make it small again. So end of game scoring. Lacerda scores. The value of the ships he owns. So it's a 3 and a 1. So he scores 4 there. A wig for every rubble cube. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So 72. Store majorities. So for gold, he's got the most, which is 3. For tools, he's got a tie. So it would be 8 between us, and then 4. 8 between us and halved, so 4. For books, I've got 3 to his 2, so he gets 3 for that. The confusing way I'm scoring is just because I've covered the scoreboard up with my player board. And then cloth. We've got 2 each, haven't we? Or 1 each. We've got 1 each on cloth. So 12 divided by 2, he gets 6. He doesn't score money, he doesn't score influence. He scores 3 wigs for each decree he has. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 24 for those. We must be able to combine these now. So that would be 112 at the moment. And then hired officials. He's not got the most. Oh, is it hired officials spent or just that he has? Right, so one's on like the plans he's completed. So he's done 5, so he hasn't done the most. So he gets 5 for that. And 2 wigs for each royal favour he has. None. So that's it for his scoring. And then we can do my scoring. Which is wigs equal to the hull sizes of the ships in your portfolio. That's just 2 points. 3 wigs for every complete set of rubble cubes. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sets. So that's going to be 12 points. Must be able to combine these now. That'd be 95. There we go. We can get rid of the messed up scoreboard now. I've gone past my player board. Cash out your influence for money. So that would get me 1, 2, 3, 4 money. Oh yeah, I could have done that as well. And then you get a wig per 5 money. So that's still only 2 points. The extra 4 is not going to get me anything there. Gain wigs from your fulfilled decree cards. I feel confident that we're going to get ahead of him there. You'll get a decent ranking. So, number of... Oh, there's the treasury marker gone. Number of brown buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not bad. Have I done the most blue plans, was that? Or are tied for the most? Because he did 2, but I think I've done 2. Yeah. So I am tied for the most. So that's another 5. Did you put the most officials to work in plans? Yes, I did. Anyone's buildings on the D row? 1, 2, 3. Number of completed plans is just 3. 1, 2, 3. Number of buildings in A? 1, 2, 3. Number of public buildings north? 1, 2, 3. That's your decrees done. 2 wigs for each royal favour left over? No. The store majority? Yeah, we haven't even done them yet. So for me, I didn't get any gold. But then the cloth, I tied, didn't I? So that was 6 after splitting it. Brown, I got the majority, which is 9. And then cloth we tied, which was 4 after halving it. And then I did more state officials on completed plans, which is 15 points. So, the first category, we have won. We have more wigs than him. That doesn't even mean we've got any ranking yet. One of the rankings, Jester, is you can have fewer points than him if you've still done some stuff. So, for King's Favourite, have we got at least as many stores as him? If I've worked it out right, we have 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we've got as many. 2 or more majorities? Yeah. I'm going to say yeah, because albeit tied, I came first in 3 majorities. 10 or more money? Yes. 7 or more decrees? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. 1 or more ships? Yes. King's Favourite. It's not the best one, but I'm pretty pleased with that. As I say, I haven't played Lisboa since the last time we streamed it, which was about 3.5 years ago, which was one of the things that prompted me to put it in the vote. It's been that long since you played Lisboa. I really like to play it once. I don't know if I've ever played... I must have played it with Rach at least once. Rach isn't the biggest fan of Vista Lacerda's games. She really likes Kanban. Like, that is the one that clicks with her. And even ones that I would say are easier to get to grips with, like the Gallerist. Oh, she enjoyed Escape Plan. I don't know if she would choose to play Escape Plan, but she did enjoy that as well. But yeah, Gallerist and Lisboa, Vinos have not clicked for her. But yeah, I'd like to give it a go multiplayer as well. Maybe we will at some point. I don't know. Solo's where it's at for the Euro things for me at the moment. Tend to play co-ops with Rach, which I'm enjoying a lot. We played 30 games of Marvel United. I don't know if I mentioned that in the stream. Played about 30 games of Marvel United around New Year. I loved it. So we could have been the Marcus's right hand if. So more points, done it. More stores than him. Tough. Well, I only needed one more. Kept up quite well there. 3 or more majorities. I'm going to argue yes. 3 or more majorities. 20 or more money. I had 14. Although really, when you see the points, I think we could have gotten away with even filling his boats and giving him the points just to get that more money there. I think we could have done that. 20 or more money, 8 or more decrees. That's only one more. Again, time was tight. You got to be really good to get that. All of these, like, one more shop, one more decree, one more shift. That's all like an action each, or like a sub action, I suppose. But yeah, things get really, really tight in it. And like, I was trying to accelerate it on as well, so he got fewer turns. I didn't quite manage it. I wanted it to be one fewer turn than it was, but I think that went pretty smoothly. I'm sure there's mistakes about, but I'm not bothered. I had a great time playing some Lisboa again after a while. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, as I said, we will be back on Friday. Rach will be here, and we'll have a bit of a Q&A. I don't know how long it will be. I don't know how many questions there will be. If you've got any questions about anything, if you would like to know what I thought of Beatles 64, that would be the top question on everyone's minds. If you have also been watching Get Back, because the dates line up this year, it's the same day of the week as it was in 1969, everybody. Billy Preston's just about to come in and things are going to get a lot happier. But I'll answer board game things as well. There's some cool things arriving. Castles of Burgundy, I think, is arriving tomorrow. Although I have, thank you, Georgina, still got Georgina's copy. It will be being given back to her in a couple of weeks when we go to TeapotCon. And we'll play some stuff there. I wonder what we're going to play there. I wonder if Elder Scrolls will have arrived by then. Probably wouldn't take that to a convention. But anyway, there we go. Thank you so much, everyone. Join us on Friday at 5 p.m. GMT, please, UK time. And ask us some questions so we're not just sat there twiddling our thumbs. Because we don't tend to do these very much. I think the last one we did was for the anniversary last year, which is at the end of April. So it's been quite a while. But yeah, I hope you have lovely times. Until then, I'll be filming some stuff in the meantime. Yeah, I'll hopefully see you on Friday. Thank you for being here, everyone. And thank you for your support and everything. Bye, bye, bye.